Hello. Welcome back to Depression Diaries. This is number 6, I think, in the series. So, if you haven't seen the early ones, I suggest you go and check those out. There's also some videos on my channel of my lovely assistants, Hamish and Hazel. Their videos seem to get a lot more views than mine. So, yeah, go and check those out. Maybe I'll keep them in this shot so I can claim this is a cat video. I just apologise in advance. This is my 5th attempt, I think, to make this video. I've got a bit of a sore throat, you can probably hear, so every other video I've started coughing and spluttering and had to stop doing it, but I've got a nice hot beverage here, so we'll see if that helps. So, I guess start with how am I feeling today. I think I'm okay. I think I'm better than I was a couple of weeks ago when I started making these. Right at the start of this series, I was just about to go back to work. I think I'd had several weeks off just for mental health issues, struggling to work, struggling with motivation. I've been back at work a few weeks now. I'm starting to get back into it. I'm starting to feel like I'm making a contribution, and I think that's important to me. I need to feel like I'm adding value in the job that I'm doing. And I think I'm getting back to a place where I am doing that. I've got involved with a few different projects. I'm starting to have an impact, I think. I'm sorry, the cats are listening to me now. So yeah, that's all good. I've been in therapy for a few weeks. I don't know if the therapy's helping or not. I think even just having a space to articulate how I'm feeling and talk about what's going on in my head is quite important. So in that sense, I think the therapy's helping. I don't know if it's kind of weird. I kind of expect therapy to be maybe more than it actually is. I walk into a therapy session and expect to get therapized or something to happen. And actually what happens is I just do basically this. I talk about how I'm feeling, talk about what's going on, what I've been thinking about. And it really seems to help. But would it help just as much doing these videos? I don't know. Anyway, so that's where I'm up to. I thought in this video it might be quite good to talk about something that's quite divisive. I think even amongst people who maybe have mental health issues, who are depressed or going through stuff, it's still quite a divisive subject, and that's medication, or specifically antidepressants. Now, I'm not a doctor. I can't give any medical advice. I'm probably not really qualified to talk about antidepressants. But what I can talk about is my experience and my relationship with antidepressants. I personally have been on antidepressants for about 15 years now. I started taking them just before my first child was born. I wasn't in the relationship I had with my eldest mother wasn't great, to be honest. Not entirely her fault. I'm not the easiest person to live with by any means. I've got a lot of issues that I'm only now, 15 years later, getting to grips with. But yeah, the relationship wasn't great. I was struggling with social anxiety quite badly. I found it really difficult to leave the house. I'd go to work every morning, but that's the only time I really left the house, and that's because I had to. So So I went to the GP. I think I did a couple of sessions of CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, which, to be honest, I don't think really did very much for me. I mean, it's difficult to remember that far back. I mean, it's difficult to remember yesterday, but I get the impression that the CBT I felt at the time didn't really do very much for me. So quite quickly I went on to antidepressants. I started taking medication. I think the first ones I tried were citalopram, I think it's called. They didn't really work for me, and they made me incredibly sweaty. Like, I think I started taking them one summer, and it was just, I think I'd also got my hair dreadlocked around that time, which, you know, white boy dreadlocks, never a good look, but yeah, whatever. I only mention that because the the excessive sweating coupled with dreadlocks was not a good smell. No, not great in the height of summer. So I think quite quickly I switched to sertraline, which I'm still on today. I'm currently on 100 milligrams. I was on 50 milligrams for many, many years. And then about 6 months ago, probably longer now, maybe a year ago, I felt like my emotions were quite flat. So I wasn't experiencing like happiness when I should be. And I think now, looking back on it, and maybe thinking about it more, it's more about my inability to connect with my emotions than it is actually the antidepressants suppressing my emotions, if that makes sense. So I think I do have these emotions. I just need to learn to identify them. Maybe figure out how to remember them. That would be a good thing. But anyway, about a year ago, I decided to stop taking antidepressants, which in hindsight was not the best idea. I also just went cold turkey. I didn't speak to my GP, didn't really put much thought into it at all, just stopped taking them, which is incredibly stupid. Like I say, I'm not a doctor, can't give medical advice, but don't do that. Don't just stop taking antidepressants. So yeah, there were a few weeks where I really struggled, and then I managed to. I say managed to, like it's a big thing, but I just didn't take antidepressants for a few months, I think. And you know, I've got these memory issues. It's quite difficult for me to remember my state of mind. But I struggled with anger quite a lot. So I think initially, when I came off the antidepressants, I was experiencing more emotion, which is what I was looking for. I feel like I felt joy more, but I also got quite angry much easier. I felt a lot of frustration, especially with my children, which is horrible. I'd lose my temper, and just completely out of the blue, like there was no real build up to it. I'd just be having quite a bad day with the kids. It'd be a bit annoying, as children are. Like, it's not like they were doing anything particularly out of the ordinary. And I'd just completely lose my temper, and I'd have to walk away and settle down. In fact, this is quite embarrassing, but I did the most ridiculous toxic masculinity, frat boy, stupid thing you can do. And if we look on the wall here, I've got these lovely pictures. These pictures are actually covering up evidence of me being a bit of a dick. Not all of them. I think there's maybe one under here. Yep, there's one. I don't think there's any more. No, see, I didn't completely lose it. But yeah, that, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, who does that? But yeah, that's, and maybe it's just a reaction to coming off the antidepressants in such a stupid way, or maybe it's just that I needed longer to, maybe if I went to therapy, which I am doing now, and then looked at coming off antidepressants, I'd have more ability to deal with those emotions. But yeah, in therapy, I think we're covering like connecting with my emotions, learning how to process them, how to express them in a healthy way. I don't think I've got, yeah, like, it sounds really stupid, like children learn this stuff, but I don't think I've ever really had the ability to express my emotions in a healthy way. I don't really understand my emotions. Like, I'll have physical responses to emotions, but I struggle to connect that with what's going on in my head. And that's something we're covering in therapy, so that's good, yes. And two, like, even if I do understand what's going on in my head and can connect that with an emotion, I don't know how to express it. So there's been times where I've been quite upset about something. The one I can remember most recently, I guess, is before these two lovely cats. There they are. Hello. Try and get me some views. Before these two, we had a cat called Pidge, who was a bit of a dick, but you know, cats usually are. Unfortunately, in the last house we lived in, Pidge got run over in the front street. Obviously, quite an upsetting time. And I only remember this because I made a mental note of it. I can't recall the emotion or how I was feeling, but at the time, it just felt like there was something inside that I needed to get out, but I had no idea how to get it out. Like, yeah, I guess it was grief, being really upset, but having no idea how to process that and deal with it. I think in the end I did cry quite a bit, and that seemed to help. And you probably, if you're watching this at home, you're probably thinking, well, yeah, duh, you get upset, you cry, but yeah, that's not an instinctive response for me. My emotions make me really uncomfortable. Like, even stupid things, giving people a hug makes me incredibly uncomfortable. Getting upset at something, watching a film, occasionally I'll feel something inside. Yeah, I feel something inside, but I don't know how to process it. I feel like I've wandered off the subject of antidepressants quite a bit now. Yeah, so to sum up, yeah, this video is getting quite long. To sum up, I think antidepressants really help me personally. I don't think I could function without them. In fact, as we've seen from my lovely interior decorating, I don't function very well without them. And like I say, maybe with a bit more time and a bit more work on myself and how I deal with emotions and stuff like that. Maybe I could get to a point where I don't rely on the antidepressants. Personally, I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, I see depression as being like a chemical imbalance, and if I need to put chemicals in to sort that out, then cool. Like, I'm okay with that. Yeah. So to summarise, I'm not a doctor. Can't give you any medical advice. I can only talk about me personally. Me personally, I think antidepressants are amazing, and I'd struggle to function without them at the moment. So yeah, hope that gives some insight into my life. I'm just going to waffle for a little bit because I'm going to do like a closing screen and put a subscribe link. There's the cats again. Hello, pussycats. They're very sleepy, I think. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Bye. Till next time.